Okay, now we're going to talk about the text tool. We've got it selected, but if you haven't, you'll notice it's down here A. It's actually called, if you put the mouse over it, it says type tool, but it's where you can do all your text. So if I click on that, you'll notice that it's got a little line here moving around the screen. So you can click on wherever you want your text to appear on the screen. So I'm going to pick there. Now it'll come up with, this is the box where the text you type will appear here, and it appears here as you type, by the way. You have fonts, you have the size of text, and you have different styles: regular, bold, and italic together. And here is your colors and also alignment. So I tend to, it depends what you want to do actually. There might be certain times you want to use left and right aligned, but for this example we'll pick middle, and I'm going to choose bold, and I'm going to choose black. So I'm just going to go down here, so you recognize this color box selector is the same for everything. Okay, there's your color picker there for picking outside, or in here you lighten and darken tools there. So just click on OK. So I've now got the choice I want. I've already selected the font, but if you haven't, you can select it by clicking that, and if you click this slider up and down, you can scroll through the fonts as well. So at the moment I've got Times New Roman, so I'm just going to leave that one selected. The size, it's a slider, or you can click in here and type in the number you want. I've got it on the maximum size. You'll see why in a moment. Now I'm just going to start typing a word in here, so let's just type the word text. So as you can see, it's appearing here on the screen. Now while this is open, I can actually move this around the screen, or I can click OK and then move it around whichever I want. Incidentally, if you want to change your font or see what fonts look like, you can actually do that if you move your mouse over. And it won't change them if you do that, of course, you just be able to see them. But if I was to do that there and to see what text actually looks like, I could simply just slowly move it through and have a look to see if there's any one that I particularly like. Okay, but for this example we're just going to use Times New Roman. So if I click OK on that, there is our text. Now we can move this around. Now what I want you to notice is that any time you type in text, new text, it will create a new level, new layer. So you've got the background, we started only with that, and it's inserted a new level. Now you see the size, it's more, this is a square box, that's more an oblong box. Okay, text box, that shows its text. There's two things, there's images and text. You want really everything to be images. Now I discovered this the hard way. I used to find that the text wasn't, this is the size of the cover here, the text is far too small. So what I used to have to do was I would create my image in the normal size, then I would change the size of the image by going in here and make sure it constrained. I would reduce that to make it smaller, so then the text appeared bigger. Then I would save an image and then bring back the saved image and then resize the image with the text on, and then that's how I would do it. Since then I've discovered a much easier way. So what you would do now is you use something called rasterize, and essentially all rasterize does, it turns text into image. So instead of being text, which you can't manipulate very well, you can do certain things with it, quite a lot actually, but you can do more when you change it to an image. So you just, it's got the layer selected, the text layer. So I click rasterize, and you can see now it's changed from a square to the same shape as bottom, so they're both now image. So it's treating the text as pixelated image. So we can now do all sorts of things. So we can now resize it, the text, by going edit, free transform. We can actually do distorted text. So say free transform to make that bigger. So you notice it's got little things here, so I can stretch it out by clicking and holding down my mouse. Or I can also, if I move just slightly that way, you'll see it's that, so you can actually turn it at different angles as well. So I'm just going to click the corner and drag it out to make it big, so I can do it like that, whatever I want to do. Make it as big or small or long or whatever, or kind of really narrow like that if I want, it's much easier to do it. So we can move it around as well where it's like that if you want to. So get it lined up, using the dots here to sort of gauge that there's same amount of space both sides to get it level, or if you want to line it up with text below or something like that. So once we've done that, now the thing before you change it to an image, by the way, i.e. rasterize, So ideally, really, you want to get your color chosen before you do that. But you can still do it. We're going to be looking at cool stuff later on, like shading and things like that as well with text, all sorts of things. So we just click that there. Once you click outside, it'll ask whether you want to save the changes or not, or cancel. If I click cancel, we'll just go back to where we were. So if I click yes to accept that, that is now saved that. So I can now, if I want, remember this is a layer we're dealing with, so we can click anywhere and move that text around if we want. Okay, so we can do that. If we want to line it up, say with the line or something like we showed earlier on. So we can do that. We can do all sorts of little tricks with text. But essentially that's really all there is to text, and we're going to be looking at some cool things of making our text look even great in other lectures.